In this video, you're going to learn 5 creepiest alien encounters. Encounters are one of the most known signs of aliens, and they allegedly happened many times in the past. These 5 stories about aliens are pretty popular ones because of the witnesses and unexplained incidents happen in them. Number 5. Men in Black. Men in Black are supposed secret quasi-government agents who had been given the task of suppressing evidence of UFOs. It is sometimes implied that they may be aliens themselves. The term is also frequently used to describe mysterious men working for unknown organizations, as well as various branches of government allegedly designed to protect secrets. According to the people who Men in Black inquired with, they appear shortly after an individual or a group of people witness a UFO or an extraterrestrial activity. In April of 2012, the incident allegedly began at a hotel in Canada, when the hotel manager was approached by one of his bellboys, who seemed to be rather unsettled about something and wanted to talk in private.
One of my bellmen approached me, and he kind of had a weird look on his face, and he said to me, can we go in your office and talk? I brought him into my office, and he says, something really weird happened here yesterday, and you weren't here. He said, there's a couple guys in here looking for you. And I said, a couple guys? What do you mean? And he said, well, this is really hard for me to say. He said, but there's a couple really strange looking men that were here. And they kind of freaked everybody out, and they were asking questions about you. And of course, now I'm getting a little bit nervous, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, well, he goes, I don't know how to describe them except for extremely odd looking. They were really, really tall. He said, and they were identical height. They were the exact same height. They were wearing the exact same clothes, and they had the exact same faces, like they were twins. And he said they were wearing black suits, black trench coats. They were wearing like the old-fashioned Federo hats. They had extremely, extremely pale skin. And he said they came in and they looked around a little bit and they asked for you. And I said, I'm sorry, he's actually not working today. And it seemed like they didn't believe me, so they started to walk around the hotel, and shortly after they went to the tour desk, and he goes, I got busy. I started to have to bring cars around and get luggage. And by the time I came back, they were gone. But he goes, they freaked me out, and I really wanted to tell you that there were these weird guys in here looking for you. So, of course, now I'm a little bit skeptical and I'm a little bit freaked out all at the same time. So the first thing I do is I run into my security office, because I know how to work the security system, and I rewound the cameras, and sure enough, here comes 2 gentlemen through the front door looking exactly how he described.
So this is the footage and the interview with the hotel manager about this incident. Since the footage has low quality and the exit of the Men in Black is not shown, some people think that it is all a hoax. Number 4. Travis Walton. The Travis Walton abduction was an alleged incident of an American forestry worker by a UFO on November 5, 1975. According to the story, on the evening of November 5th, Walton and some friends were driving down a quiet road in the forest after a long day of logging. While driving, they saw a light coming from the forest and decided to investigate. They encountered a saucer-shaped object hovering over the ground approximately 100 feet away, making a high-pitched buzz. Walton left the truck and approached the object. A beam of light suddenly appeared from the craft, threw him several into the air, and knocked him unconscious. His friends panicked and thought their friend was dead, so they drove away. They went to the local sheriff's department, reported the incident, and were suspected of murdering Walton. 5 days later, Walton reappeared at a gas station, saying that he was being abducted by aliens. As Walton's memories slowly began to return, he remembered being aboard a strange craft and odd alien beings. Walton claims that he awoke from the light and thought he was in a hospital. until he noticed the beings standing above him were not human. He saw three gray-like aliens. He fought with them until a human wearing a helmet led Walton to another room, where he blacked out as three other humans put a clear plastic mask over his face. When he woke up, he found himself laying on highway, tired, hungry, and dehydrated. He thought that he had been missing for only about 5 hours, but after he showed up, he learned he was missing for a whole 5 days. The debate about this story arises from the potential that Walton would have been aware of the National Enquirer offered a $5,000 reward for positive proof of an extraterrestrial encounter. So some people suspect Walton and the other crew members divided the $5,000 and gave exclusive story rights to the Enquirer. Number 3. Skinny Bob. Skinny Bob is an alleged videotape containing footage of a gray-like alien. The video was first uploaded to YouTube on April 13, 2011 by Ivan0135. The video became very popular in the UFO and alien research community, although it was speculated that the footage was a promotion for an upcoming film or TV series at the time. Alien research community started to call this gray-like alien Skinny Bob, and that is how it got its name. However, these 4 videos were calling it Gray Zeta Reticulum. This name comes from the Skinny Bob's origin planet, which is claimed to be Serpo, placed in Zeta Reticuli binary system in the southern constellation of Reticulum. Based on the measurements, this constellation is 39 light-years far away from our solar system. Videos are claimed to be leaks from the KGB, the main security agency for the Soviet Union from 1942 to 1969, although this remains unconfirmed. The emblem at the beginning of the video resembles the KGB Top Secret Archive logo that was in use around 1969, so the video may have been recorded in that year. Interesting part about this video is, since 2011, nobody came out to say that he recorded the video, stole it, or made the whole CGI in it. When it comes to the potential story behind this video, this scenario is thrown into the pot. From the first contact in 1942, a series of diplomatic visits to discuss matters of mutual concern were planned. These meetings would take place in secrecy. A limited number of special agents would escort visitors, and they would only meet high-ranking officers. However, at the meeting of 1961, there was an incident involving 3 subjects due to the violation of the agreement by the officers at the military base when they discovered that their arrival was being filmed with a hidden device without their consent. After the incident, the treaty was revised, but nothing in the scenario explained the death of this alien. If we put aside the scenario and focus on the debate about this footage, according to the people who work in CGI and films, Skinny Bob's eye blinks and movements are unrealistic, and their answer for the question how they were able to make a CGI that good back in 40s is pretty simple. How do you know this footage is from 40s? Number 2. Battle of Los Angeles, 1942. It was late February 1942, less than 3 months after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Residents on the western coast of the United States expected they were next, and so stood ready with hasty fortifications and kept their eyes on the sky. Only one day before, the Japanese submarine I-17 had surfaced off close to Santa Barbara and fired 25 shells at some aviation fuel storage tanks, so the alert level was the highest it had ever been. The incident began early in the morning of the 25th. Air raid sirens sounded at 2:25 a.m. throughout Los Angeles County. A total blackout of the county was ordered, and thousands of air raid wardens were summoned to their positions. At 3:16 a.m., the 37th Coast Artillery Brigade began firing 50 caliber machine guns and 12.8-pound anti-aircraft shells into the air at reported aircraft. Over 1,400 shells were eventually be fired. The artillery fire continued until 4:14 a.m. The all clear was sounded and the blackout order lifted at 7:21 a.m. This photo was taken at the night and put on newspapers. According to the witnesses living in the county, this long-term fire aimed at the aircraft all the time, but could not hit it. After the incident, the Japanese government declared that they had flown no airplanes over Los Angeles during the war. US government stated that it was a false alarm due to anxiety and war nerves. In 1983, the Office of Air Force History mentioned that the meteorological balloons had likely triggered the event. On the other hand, ufologists find this unlikely to happen, because if a balloon was there, it would eventually lose the gas inside because of the shots it received and landed on the ground. However, no weather balloons were detected in the county after the battle. Number 1. The Roswell UFO Incident. At the beginning of July 1947, an object crash landed on a ranch approximately 120 kilometers northwest of Roswell, leaving a large field of debris. Mac Brazel discovered strange metal strewn across a wide area of rangeland he tended. Because of the material's unusual characteristics, Brazel took pieces of the debris to the authorities in Roswell, New Mexico. Keep in mind, at that night, there were also some people claiming that they saw a flying disc. About 1 week after the crash on July 7, 1947, intrigued by the debris, Colonel Blanchard, commanding officer at Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF, ordered 2 intelligence officers to investigate. These 2 men were Major Jesse Marcel and Captain Sheridan Cavett. Upon their report, Colonel Blanchard quietly ordered that the ranch area be cordoned off. Soldiers removed the debris, sending it to Army headquarters in Fort Worth, Texas. According to this footage and some data so-called leaked from the CIA, before the wreckage was sent, an officer in RAAF recorded a video of injured and dead aliens carried up by other officers to the vehicles. One day after, on July 8, the Roswell Army Airfield announced that they had recovered a flying disc. In addition to that, some local people confirmed the term UFO, and some of them even stated that they saw aliens laying on the ground. For these reasons, the newspaper Roswell Daily Record reported the first official touch with extraterrestrial beings. However, a few hours after the initial flying disc press release, US Army Air Force officials stated that it was not a UFO, but a weather balloon. Later on, this statement was changed to a Project Mogul balloon. By the way, the Project Mogul was a top-secret espionage operation that used high-altitude balloons with spy sensors to listen for sound waves generated by Soviet atomic bomb tests. This suspicious contrast between 2 declarations separated people into 2 groups. The group which say that US government concealed this incident support their idea with this alleged majestic paper which spoke of how the Roswell UFO crash had been covered up. In this paper, it is implied that 4 small human-like beings had apparently ejected from the craft at some point before it exploded, died because of the fall, decomposed a little bit till their discovery about 1 week after their fall, and removed from the area for scientific studies. Thanks for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon. See you at the next video. If you did not leave the video yet, then you might want to click on the channel logo to see my other videos, or click on one of the videos shown on the screen